Hello, class. So for today, we're going to be multiplying and dividing fractions and mixed numbers. We're going to be using real world problems involving multiplication and division of fractions and mixed numbers by using visual models or equations to represent the problem. The standards are 5 NFB 6 and 5 NFB 7A through 7C. We will also be given real world problems involving fractions and mixed numbers. You will justify solutions using multiplication and division by providing visual fraction models or equations. Okay, for a majority of today's lesson, we're going to be using the smartboard and your Chromebooks for the lecture. Paper and pencils will also be utilized as scratch paper, and the internet, which we will use for YouTube and learning games and Nearpod in our group work for today. Certain accommodations were made today for us to use the smartboard for people that struggle visually and or maybe hearing wise. I can adjust the sound or zoom in for the students who struggle with those things. I will also want you guys to ask yourself a few questions. What is a fraction? Okay, so we do know that a fraction has two parts, right? The top is the numerator, the bottom is the denominator. And how do we multiply and divide fractions using real world problems? If everyone in this room has $50, how much do we have all together? Those are questions that I want you guys to think about because money is very important. Okay, money is very important in our world, and everything costs something. So, all right, before computer use, we're going to be watching a couple videos by Mr. J. He gives some examples of how to divide and multiply fractions and mixed numbers. So, and then after that, we're going to be I'm going to show you guys a few examples on the smartboard, and then after, I want you guys to use the smartboard to demonstrate how to solve various fraction and mixed number problems using multiplication and division. Then we will go into our groups of 3. So, all right. So, once I divide you into your groups of 3, you will then complete the activities given in Nearpod, which are quizzes and some matching games, which should be a lot of fun with you guys. You guys all have to work together. Nobody gets left out. All right. After you complete your Nearpod activities, you're more than welcome to work and play games individually that apply to today's lesson, which is how to multiply and divide fractions and mixed numbers. All right. Excuse me. I don't want you guys on anything else but that. All right. After we are done with our games for a while, which I'll probably give you about 10 to 15 minutes to play games. You will return to your seats to complete examples on the smartboard, which I'll call you guys up probably individually to come do a few examples. Then you'll be given your thank sheet, which has questions that applies to today's lesson. Then after you complete your thank sheet, you'll be given your exit ticket, which will be a few questions that I write down on the smartboard that state, what is one thing you would like me to explain more clearly? Name one important thing that you learned in today's lesson and give an example of how to multiply or divide fractions or mixed numbers using a real world problem. You guys, I want 100% effort for today. All right. Also, we use multiplication and division daily. We multiply and divide fractions and mixed numbers daily. Money is one of the most important fundamental ways we use fractions and mixed numbers. Fractions and mixed numbers can also be represented by decimals, which we will get into on another standard. But for example, 50 cents can be noted as half a dollar. We can also infer that if we multiply half a dollar times 20 people, you get $10. For division, we can divide $10 among the 20 people to get half a dollar to each person, aka 50 cents. We should be able to use multiple visual models to multiply or divide fractions and mixed numbers. All right, so grouping of students. I grouped you guys based on your level of understanding and what groups I feel work together based on previous evaluations throughout the year. So if Jimmy and Sally can't get along in the group, and I've seen that you can't get along at recess or any other function throughout the school, then you're not going to be in a group together. It makes it easier for you. It makes it easier for me. It makes it easier for everybody in this classroom. All right. There will always be a higher level student and a lower level student. Okay. I will only know that. All right. Maybe you guys will, but hey, we will not pick on each other. We will work together and collaborate in a positive manner. All right, a rubric will be provided for understanding of the problems on the smart board. So if you answer the question and I feel like you understood how you came up with that answer, then you're going to probably have a good grade for that portion of the rubric. Accuracy of the activities on Nearpod, which is an easy grade if you guys all work together. Participation in group activities, which will be determined by your group partners. So if somebody's not putting in the work, it's going to show. Okay. So I want you guys to be honest. All right. When you're grading your partner, if they weren't putting in the work, give them a bad grade. We will know, and I will know, because I will be being vigilant and monitoring the room as you guys are completing your group activity. So please give your best and be honest when scoring your partners. All right. And there'll also be a grade for your think sheet answers, which is just completion, not accuracy. All right. In closure, we're going to be wrapping up with smartboard problems to review. We're going to do our think sheet and our exit ticket, as I explained. All right. Let's get started for today's class.